formed the first democratically elected government in Egypt's history. But since the military coup and a brutal crackdown which killed more than 600 people, the Muslim Brotherhood has been banned and its leaders arrested. The filmmaker Mani spent weeks with the Brotherhood supporters at their protest camp in Cairo. And when the army moved in, he was seized by police, arrested and assaulted. Jonathan Rugman reports on the heady days before the massacre and its aftermath. And just to warn you, you may find some of these images distressing.
Cairo, early August. In the Nasser City district, Mani is filming the end of a long, hot month of fasting. For 5 weeks, these crowds have been camped out here, ever since Egypt's first democratically elected president was ousted from power. And they are refusing to leave until he is reinstated. One man tapes up his mouth with the words military coup, his burial shroud pronouncing the death of Egypt's democracy.
The military and the army stole our revolution.
Just a year ago, Mohamed Morsi scaled the dizzy heights of the presidency, polling 51% of the vote. Now he's been detained, his supporters say they are waging a campaign of peaceful resistance, here in their tens of thousands. But their leaders from the Muslim Brotherhood are warning that there is bound to be bloodshed before they get their president back. For decades, the Brotherhood was banned from Egyptian politics. And now its supporters have found their voice. They are determined not to be silenced. Egypt is not secular, they sing. It's Islamic. But not everybody belongs to the Brotherhood. Living in this tent are members of a once violent jihadist group which was outlawed by the old regime. One of them, Ashraf, spent 11 years in jail, and he says his jailers are now back with a vengeance.
منذ الانقلاب العسكري بتاريخ 3/7/2013 عاد النظام السابق كعهده السابق تماما بل أشد من ذلك. انظر إلى هؤلاء المحبوسون في السجون بلا أي تهمة.
Many here believe that if the Muslim Brotherhood had been tougher, its now imprisoned president might have survived. If only he hadn't tolerated pop music. If only he'd been more strict about men growing beards. Though men like Amar say this is no time for quibbling about beards or music now.
اي نعم احنا زعلانين من الاخوان المسلمين على حاجات كتيره ضيعوها علينا او كده ولكن مش وقت زعل وقت دلوقتي وقت ان احنا كلنا نتكاتف مع بعض ونبقى مع بعض ايد واحده.
The sisterhood is no less vocal than the Brotherhood. Many of these women, veterans of the 2011 revolution. Women like Mama Salwa, who tells the crowd that Egypt's security forces will be defying God if they attack. The street party here has lasted for 6 weeks now. But the signs are that the party may soon be over.
اليوم في شد استنفار أمني هنا عند التأمين وفي حالة من الطوارئ داخل حالة من التأهب للدفاع عن النفس والدفاع عن اقتحام اقتحام الميدان من الشرطة والبلطجية.
An army helicopter is dropping leaflets ordering the protesters to leave. Instead, it is met with defiance. It's time to hunker down and prepare for battle. A series of concrete fortifications is still drying, but it's meant to keep out bulldozers and armoured cars. At this Cairo metro station, students are trying to drum up wider support. Graffitiing the train with insults aimed at the generals who've taken over. But many Egyptians back their army. They believe the Brotherhood's rule was arrogant and incompetent. They've had enough of these demonstrations, and they want to get home. In Nasser City, some only have life jackets for protection. Others, builders' masks and hard hats. They know the army and police have them in their sights. The message here, ready for martyrdom. The next morning, the army and police storm the square. Thousands are trapped. Hundreds die. Our filmmaker, Mani, didn't take these pictures. He was beaten by police, who also took his camera and film. But a protester shot these chilling images. Pictures Egyptian authorities didn't want the world to see. That night, Nasser City's protest camp is burned to the ground and erased from existence. The carnival of protest has ended in carnage. It's now September, and Mani has returned to Cairo to find out if the Egyptians he met survived. In the sanctuary of a local mosque, Mani arranges to meet one of the leaders of the metro protest. Before the mass killings, Mohammed was a raucous student. Now he looks terrified.
دلوقتي بيبقى صعب جدا ان الواحد دلوقتي حتى يقول رأيه حتى براحته. لا ما بقى يعني في دلوقتي حواليك دلوقتي بقى في مراقبه، موبايلك متراقب، اكونت فيس متراقب، تويتر متراقب، البيت ايه مراقبه، انت معرض في بيتك، يخش اي حد في اي وقت يعتقلك.
Mama Salwa escaped the attack by hiding in a back street. She's still marching, and her movement has a new symbol. But the demonstrations are much smaller these days, and most of the Muslim Brotherhood's leaders are under arrest or in hiding.
لما الاقي بطاقتي الشخصيه نازله على الفيسبوك بعنواني ورقم موبايلي وبيتي، يبقى مقصود ايه؟ بيديها للناس عشان ايه؟ عشان اي واحد يحاول يعمل لي حاجه. انا مؤمنه بالمولى عز وجل.
Ashraf watched two of his friends die in his tent after they were shot. In his youth, he believed violence was the only way to get justice. Now he says he's in for the long haul of peaceful resistance, however difficult.
حتى وإن كانت قليلة أو كثيرة، هذه المظاهرات سوف تكون داخلية لبث روح الوعي مرة أخرى للمصريين وتعرفهم بحقيقة الانقلاب العسكري الذي حدث في الفترة الأخيرة.
So the campaign to restore Egypt's elected president continues. though it's rarely in the headlines. And its chances of success are dwindling, as Egypt's generals show no sign of giving up power.